Hello everyone, I'm Wendell Jones and welcome to this edition of our program, The Platform. And on this program we are going to have a look at a number of paintings. We have quite a number of Bahamians who are involved in art, and they are quite prolific, I should say, because everywhere you go you see people who are involved in culture and art. They paint, they create dolls. Of course, there are Junkanoo artists all over the Bahamas. And today on our program, we have a young member of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force who has been painting for many years. Abrian Rankine, our guest on the program today. It's a delight to have him here. Welcome to the program.
Good day, sir. Thank you.
Good. And Bianca Nygard is here as usual. Good to see you.
Yes, nice to be here again. Thank you.
Bianca has brought with us on this program a whole lot of artists, whether they are Junkanoo artists, they are people who are musicians, and so you are the first painter on the show.
So the first?
Yes.
I'm talking about.
It's good to see you here today.
Thank you, sir.
How long have you been painting?
Right from before I can remember.
Before you can remember?
I can remember. I've been painting all my life.
Okay, all right. Now, give us your background. You're Eleuthera, right?
Yes, sir. Savannah Sound.
Savannah Sound.
Dawn and Red.
Okay.
Humble beginnings. I grew up, my father died when I was young, so my mother was mother and father. Real boss, but she grew us up stern. You know, she wasn't afraid to beat us, but she also gave us space to grow. She never, I think she wasn't traditional, I'd say, you know. From, like I was saying with my Bible, the first Bible I had, I spent more time drawing in that than reading that. And I sure I was take a couple of beatings for that, but she saw it and she let me get away with it. Drawings on the walls. She had a rough time when it came to toys and stuff when I was growing up. Nah, whatever toys they bought for me, I took apart and figured out a way to put it together. I was making little dolls from back then, trucks, whatever I saw on TV, I was trying to make. So, yeah, anything electrical got tore up. They got tore up. Right? That's what I played with. So, grounding me didn't work. Yeah, I didn't have to go outside. I could have stayed inside and figured out something to do. So, yeah, I had a good life though.
And so your art classes in high school, you excelled, I'm sure.
Never did it.
You never did it?
No, sir. I actually, you know, when you get in grade 9, they tell you, when you go in grade 10, you can choose. You have 3 curriculums you can choose. I wanted to do art, crafts, and computers. This is in Donald Davis. They put me in accounts, commerce, and computers. Hated it. I was good at it, but hated it. Did it for the first year. Second year, I put again, art, craft, computers. They put me back in the same classes. So on my exam, I just read on my exam, I don't want to do this. Brought me in to see the principal, brought my mother in. She looked at them, looked at me, and she said, okay, I know what to do. Send me Eleuthera. I went there, did art, and was happy.
You went and did art?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do, just to do art. I did my BJCSE at Central High, and my teacher told me nothing he could teach me.
And so you did BGCSE and you took the examination?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of grade you got?
I got a B.
You got a B?
I got a B.
Very good. Yes.
Yes.
So how did you find Mr. Rankine?
Oh, through Junkanoo.
Oh.
Through Junkanoo years ago, actually. I was dancing with his cousin. Yes.
Okay. Now, you are using, from what I can see, mixed media in some of these. So you have acrylic, and I believe I see what resembles house paint.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I like to experiment. I'm a mad scientist. I do not like setting I can do sceneries, scenic stuff. I can do portraits, but I love abstract. I love thinking outside the box. I love to challenge myself.
Okay.
So that's, if I see something, especially, and I usually get ideas when I'm in no way or form thinking about art. is when it'll hit me. I can't wait to get home, and I gotta go try.
Yes.
Gotta go do something.
Now, this behind us here is a underground or underwater scene, eh? Beautiful fish, and we see turtles, eh?
Yes, sir. Turtle Reef.
Uh-huh. When did you do this? How long was
I did this 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And do you paint commercially? I mean, of course, you're selling paint.
Yes, sir.
Your paintings,
Yes.
eh?
I just recently got into getting my work out. I was afraid for a long time.
Why were you afraid?
I don't know, I guess criticism. Basically, no other reason than that. I was afraid what people would think. How I got into it was actually a funny story. My cousin, my favorite cousin, like brothers, painted together. We started off sketching, started then comics. He got into painting and was doing well. And he kept saying, Abe, gotta paint, gotta get it out there. I know, man. So one day, he asked me, okay, do me a painting of Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. And he bought me a canvas 30 by 40. He said, do a painting, whatever it is, I'll buy it from you. Whatever you charge, I'll buy it from you. So I did it. And I sold it to him for $600. And I think, no exaggeration, in about a week, he called me, then sent me a picture and said, thanks. He sold it to a guy who plays poker for a living for $6,000. So then wait a minute, this could work. So from then, okay, that's some good inspiration to get out there.
And so you paint in your spare time since you were a Defense Force officer?
Yes, sir. Well, whenever I carry my paint to work sometimes.
You carry it to work?
Yes, sir.
They allow you to paint at work?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Shows how, being an artist, half of the time we have things to do. Rankine come, we need a little project for you to do. No problem. No problem.
Oh, so you paint for the Defense Force at work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
And he's always painting at home with his family.
Yeah.
He has his children involved. They're always doing some kind of project at home. Right?
I try, yeah. All my kids, I turn my cable off. I only have internet. So TV is a privilege. So because I paint so much, I have a setup, and I normally paint on the floor. So the table is where my sons would paint. So while I'm there painting, they're there as well, and they love it. Anybody else come say to me, same thing. I have a lot of my friends, their kids, whoever doing art, when they have BJC or something, they need help, they come to me.
Now this is an expensive hobby.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Because paint is expensive, the canvas is expensive, and you are mainly painting on canvas, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Canvas and sometimes wood.
On wood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you need to be able to sell your paintings, I'm sure, I believe,
Yes.
in order to keep it going, eh?
Yes, sir. Really trying. There ain't that much platforms out there, though. At least you have the typical galleries. The artwork is I've found it to be a great place to get your work out. Marina Village. Or
Marina Village.
Yes, so every 2 weeks they have an art walk there. I find it to be very good. I knew they were doing something downtown, but I'm not sure on how it's doing, so I'm waiting to see before I try to get into it.
Yes, yes. And you've been selling your work mostly to visitors, perhaps, eh?
Yeah, well, I actually try to get my work out to more Bohemians. I prefer to sell to my people. That's why I don't price my work too expensive. I don't want to kill nobody's pocket. But in my experience, more tourists would willingly and have a better understanding of what value paintings have inside their house, in their homes, than the typical Bohemian.
And you said that you were doing a lot of abstracts. This one, if the camera can zoom in on that one over there, is that a scene representative of the Bahamas?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exuma is. I've done a lot of sailing. I'm actually on a vessel now, so we sail a lot. And I find that sailing for me is sometimes a saving grace, a good time to think a good time. Some sceneries, my God, Albanians don't know what we have, but we have so much beauty in this country. And what I do always, I take pictures.
Okay.
I take pictures, I sit down, and I see how I can do it, because doing abstract with scenery don't always work out, but trying to get it to is the fun part. So, but I love the Exuma keys.
It takes imagination now for you to be able to give us that particular backdrop and the colors that you chose. Explain that painting.
Yeah, that and a lot of practice. Yeah, but it's really, I guess, partly having an eye for it, because again, paint have a mind of its own. You could, my type, I drip everything onto a background. Everything else is dripped on with different medium spoons, knives, sometimes stick straws, different textures, different mediums. Then I have to kind of gauge how much, where I could do it, how to stop it, keep it inside the lines. Sometimes it just let the paint talk itself, and it will lead me down a different path, and then I come up with something I didn't even start off with. So
that's interesting, because you don't have any major brush strokes in this.
no, sir. That's mostly, I think this one, a palette knife and a straw.
And a straw?
Yes, sir.
What kind of straw?
It's a regular straw. Regular straw. If you take a straw, dip it in paint, lift it up, it'll start off thick, and then as it streams out, it'll thin. Because it's coming down from a long point, it just streams out. So the trick is actually knowing how to maneuver it.
How to use the straw.
Yes, sir.
I can see a little bit of brushwork in this one, though.
Yes, sir.
You have some brushwork here, and now you choose your colors. I call this abstraction of colors, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Well, the sea is colorful. The sea itself is colorful. There's many different colors, so you try to depict that. Especially if I'm from Eleuthera. In the back of Eleuthera, we have one of the largest barrier reefs in the world. I think now it's either 1 or 2, because Australia reef dead. So to be able to swim and see that so often and not put it in my work, had to.
So when you go down, you see various colors, and
Oh, yes,
and you see fish with various colors, and the waters would represent various colors. It's not just blue or green or turquoise or aquamarine, eh?
No, you can't shoot. On a day you can go down and it'd be gray.
Gray.
Gray on a day when it's windy, current, that you can't see a thing, it could be great. And you could go a couple hours later and be crystal clear.
Or you can go down and see some pink or
Well,
green
you do, yes.
or yellow.
Certain parts of the coral, you will see colors like that.
Yes. And so you use your imagination a whole lot. I see in your paintings as well, eh?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Try to be creative, I try.
And so when you how long does it take to do something like that?
Well, usually I'd say if I have time, probably 48 hours. But usually it'll take me like a week or so between working and then coming home and doing it. But when I paint for a long time. When I get home, once the kids eat, they set them up, I go at it.
And it takes your mind off a whole lot of things, eh?
Oh, yeah.
When
Yes.
you get into it, you all of the problems and challenges that you have, you forget about them and you concentrate on your painting.
Yes, sir. Art is a great way to express yourself.
Yeah.
It's a great way to express yourself. If I'm mad, you'll know. You will literally know from my work. When I'm happy, you would know. But with it all, I can put it in there rather than going out drinking or trying to punch up a wall or something. I just go there. And the way I paint, my setup, I have to have a little piece of wine or some Henny there, make sure I'm nice, and I go to work.
I see.
I go to work.
I see.
It's interesting too with the social media. What I've liked is when you give everybody else a chance to guess what will happen next in your painting, or suggest a color or a name for your painting online?
Well, that sometimes most artists come up with a block. Sometimes want to paint, just can't figure it out what I want to do, how I'm going to do it, think too much. So I found that what helps me is then I would ask my followers to help me out. What do you think? Sometimes I'd ask people to give me a topic, throw something out there, and let's see. A lot of my friends, what I ask them to do is find something difficult, and then let's see if I could figure it out. Yeah, it gets you out of that state where I was trying to think about something and just go.
Yes. This painting, just before we go to the break, explain this one for us.
Well, this one was for a competition. And if I remember correctly, I think the topic was about men in the Bahamas. And all of my friends were painting these bubbly pictures of men holding hands and hands in the air and everything. And I tend to don't want to do the same thing. And at the time, I was thinking, okay, there's a lot of crap going on with men in the Bahamas, so I'm not going to paint the nice bubbly scenery when there's so much things. So I went the opposite way. So this here is my depiction of what a man have to deal with in the world. You know, like sometimes you feel like the world falling on you. Like you can't make it, you don't know, it's just rough. But that's why I put the darkness in the background, not the foreground. It's in the background. Because at the end of the day, it's just behind you.
Interesting, interesting. Let's take a break here. We are talking art today with Abrian Rankine, who is a Defense Force officer as well, and he spends a whole lot of time painting. We take this break and we'll come right back.